What's up, athletes? Welcome back. You know, something that I speak about often in my advanced power program is how perfection is the enemy of progress. When we're always waiting for that perfect time to get started, when our schedule magically frees up, when the kids are no longer needing us, or we're less busy at work, we end up waiting forever. Because there is no perfect time. The thing is, life events happen all the time. Our schedule will constantly change depending on what's going on. And similarly, if we continue to show up to our workouts, constantly expecting so much out of ourselves, constantly beating ourselves up because it never looks perfect, thinking that this is not going to work, it doesn't look like that video that I'm watching, well, we end up giving up. So instead, athletes, I would love for you to redefine that definition of perfection. Perfection is about showing up for you consistently, about honoring your body, about constantly putting yourself first, filling up your own glass so that you can serve others. Now, athletes, this is what this channel is all about. It's about showing up, about creating consistency, and about loving yourself through the process. Now, give me a like if this resonates with you. Please share with your friends if you feel like they can benefit too. And then if you're new here, let's subscribe so that we keep training together. It's amazing how if we consistently show up doing these little workouts on a daily basis, we get results without it being stressful and with it being completely enjoyable. And more importantly, we get to see the results that we desire. All right, now let's get started. Today we're doing a 7-minute full body wild card workout. Now all you need to follow along today is just a medium pair weight of dumbbells and then maybe a little bench or a little chair or couch to have nearby in order to modify some movements. We're working for 45 seconds. We are resting for 15 seconds through 7 different exercises. Because this is a wild card workout, I'm going to show you your first movement. Then going forward, you're going to know what's coming up in this little box above. All right, athletes, now let's get started. So if you've been training with me now, you know that you likely need a little elevated surface to modify things like planks or maybe even squats. You always need to be close by to a wall in case there's a wall sit coming up. And today, when we start off, I'm going to show you your modification, but I'll always challenge you to try to give it a try here before you choose that modification. Our first movement today is a thruster, so keep that back straight as you pick up your weights, bring it on to the shoulders, and then I like to take a couple steps here so that my feet are placed outside the shoulders. I turn the toes out slightly to follow the natural alignment of the femur. I push myself back, and then imagine that there's a chair behind me and I'm going to sit on that chair. And so that allows me to bring my hips backwards. A common fault of the squat is that we bend the knees here first, we limit our range of motion, we lift up the heels, and then we put a lot of strain on the knees. All right, so thruster is going to be a squat with a push press. So again, squat and then press. And now I'm going to do this one more time, and I want you to watch my hips. So in slow motion, I go down, and then as I come up, I extend the hips, and then I drive the weights overhead. So one more time. Notice how the hips extend first before I start to drive the weights up. A common fault that I see is this. Doing this at the same time. But we actually want to use the pressure generated from the hips to drive the movement. All right, to modify, athletes, get into that sit squat position and follow along with me. This is a great way to progress, giving yourself an opportunity to continue to improve. And I've used that sit squat so many times to recover from injury or childbirth or when I even tore my calf muscle. All right, athletes, let's get going. Working for 45 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, elbows are up here. Drive the knees out. And now use the hips to drive the weights up overhead. Continue to breathe. It's not about speed. This is really about consistency and then learning to adapt every day, every workout to how the body is feeling. And when we do it that way, when we stop looking for perfection, we continue to show up. There's no such thing as perfect. We imprison ourselves in our mind by expecting that perfection that does not exist. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, drop a weight. You're gonna keep the other one. And now let's do a plank pass through. So option to do this up here on your elevated surface or down here with me. And we're gonna slide weight back and forth. So pivot, rotate from side to side, putting your body weight on one side, transfer it to the other side. And now stay consistent here with me. Continue to breathe. That's it. And it's not about speed. It's really about control. Watch those hips, make sure that they're not up towards the ceiling. And now, make sure you're also dragging the weights across the floor. This dragging motion creates friction, which creates our resistance. And break. All right, come back to a standing position. We're now going to do a weighted squat. So I'll give you the option here to do a goblet squat with just one weight. Remember, you have that option to sit squat, or go ahead and grab both weights, place them on the shoulders, elbows are up. And then again, drive those hips back. Push the knees out. Breathe. Squeeze the glutes in that top position. Elbows up. Good work. All right, athletes coming up. There's a plank, cradle hold. Believe me, this is a challenging one for me, but what I do know and how I talk myself through it is that it's only 45 seconds. Break. And then I think about what else takes me 45 seconds to do throughout my day. And if I can do that without any problems, I can definitely do this one. So again, find yourself in that elevated position, and then come on up, grab your weights and hold it tightly. And now if you're up here, rotate just a little bit. Bring your torso facing the floor, and now breathe. Oxygenate that muscle. Drive the breath to that muscle. Really focus on how this is serving you. Don't think about the struggle. That's where the mind starts to play tricks and forces us to stop. So stay here with me. Every second, we are becoming stronger, more capable, powerful, able to do this. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right. Come off the arms. Big breath here. Relax through it. Get ready now to switch to that other side. 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, athletes, we got this. So cradle that, and then turn that shoulder downwards, facing the floor. And then continue to breathe. When we leave the ego at the door, when we decide that the win is the fact that we're here, it changes the experience for us. We download positive emotion into the activity, and then we're more excited about showing up. Instead of beating up ourselves through it, making this painful, both physically and mentally, we end up giving up. So remove that feeling of perfection and stay with me here. Break. All right, now, Russian twist is coming up. So start in that seated position, keep it back straight. And then your option is to lift up your legs here if you'd like, and then slowly rotate them side to side. So most important thing is that we don't feel this in the back. If you do, drop the heels and come forward. And then if you're going faster than me, please slow it down. You get more out of this movement if you slow down, really engage that core. And if we're going faster, we also have that opportunity to injure the low back. So keep your eye on your weight and move with control and really connect with your obliques. Those are the ab muscles on the side. Connect with them and then continue to breathe. Oxygenate the muscles, slow it down. 3, 2, 1, and break. Oh man, that's a doozy when it's nice and slow. All right, now we're gonna do a boat pose press. So stay in that same position or keep the heels on the floor. You can lift them up and then with control, do a press up overhead. If you notice again, I'm moving slowly. We should not feel this in the low back, and if you do, please bring your heels down and come a little bit forward. That's not the goal. The goal is to feel this in the core and the arms, specifically the shoulders, the upper back, the biceps, the triceps, really the entire upper body. But remember, move with control. You can also feel the top of your legs here as we have the legs up here in this position. Let's go 10 more seconds. Stay with me here. Continue to breathe. Exhale and come back down. A few more here. 3, 2, 1, and break. Oh man, that is a doozy. Good work, athletes. Remember that if you have it in you, repeat one more time. Know that I love to hear from you. So comment below. It really means a lot to me. Lets me know how it's going for you and how I can improve these workouts so that they continue to serve you. Remember that if you like this, give me a thumbs up, share with your friends. And then if you're new here, let's subscribe so that we keep training together. All right, athletes, let's go refuel, rehydrate, and meet up in the next one. You've got this.